Happy Friday, everybody. Thank you so much for downloading or streaming the Be Our Guest podcast. I'm going to be honest with you. Today's show, we had a great time recording this one. It is the Walt Disney World Olympics because the Olympic Games kick off tonight over in Paris, France, at least the opening ceremonies. And I'm a huge fan of the Olympics. So Ricky and Scott join me and we talk about where you can find the Olympic spirit around Walt Disney World. And we get a little serious at first and then, well, it goes off the rails, and you've probably seen these events, and you've maybe even participated in 3 or 4 of these events yourself and not even known it, and you are owed a medal. So come along with us on this fun journey. Hopefully you'll have some laughs along with us, and you can impress your kids because you're probably a Walt Disney World Olympic athlete, and you never knew it. So enjoy today's show. Don't forget, today's podcast brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you plan your next Disney vacation for no additional cost to you. Check out all the details right now over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. The one extra click supports everything we do throughout the year. It's beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you very much to our Patreon supporters. You guys are our VIPs. You make this show happen. So thank you very much for that. You can support us as well. It's just $5 a month and you'll get a bonus show every week. It's called Mike in the Midwest. So we'd love to have your support. Come on over this week, patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast.
Ready to take a trip to the world? You found the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. This is where your memories come front and center on our podcast stage.
Welcome to episode 2528 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you. Give yourself a pat on the back. You made it through another week. Can you believe it? I know. These weeks nowadays feel like months. They feel like years, but we've made it. I'm telling you, man, it's just, it's kind of crazy. But hey, the good news is, we have fun here. That's the great thing about podcasts. We just block everything else out. We're talking about our favorite things. And today, it might get a little silly because we're talking about the good stuff in life. We're talking about Disney. We're going to tie in a little bit of the Olympics, which kick off tonight, which I am a huge fan of the Olympics. If you listen to Mike in the Midwest, last Sunday I did a show about how really when I was growing up, one of my dreams was to make an Olympic team. I really, really wanted to do that. And I gave a lot of effort into speed skating for that. Didn't make it, but I'm glad I gave it a shot. And every time the Olympics come on, I get super excited. In the winter, I decide, oh my gosh, I need to be a curler. I have a broom. I have a rock. It gets cold in St. Louis. We have ice. I could learn how to do, I could sweep, and I could get in a bobsled, I could steer my Jeep. But I could find an event to be in the Olympics still as an old, tall dude. I know I can't because these are the best athletes on the planet. They're well-oiled machines.
Isn't Snoop Dogg participating in the Olympics this year? Because I swear I've seen his picture,
possibly.
An official Olympics picture.
No, but he comments because he commented on that steeplechase thing last time around. That was a whole thing. But anyway, let me finish my thing here.
Sorry.
Back
I was
off.
just saying, there's still hope for you.
Don't make me mute you. Don't make me mute you. I'm on a roll. Okay, so here we go. So the Olympics are getting ready to start. And so we got the opening ceremonies tonight if you're listening as the show comes out. I'm super excited I'm not really excited about the Olympics opening ceremony. That's just all pomp and circumstance.
That's the best.
Whatever. I like the events. But here we go. So I always want to say, I want to do an event. But here's the thing. You as a listener are probably as finely tuned to be a Walt Disney World Olympic-style athlete more than you know. So stay tuned because watch, you're going to be able to tell your kids, your significant other, your friends and family, I could get the gold medal in this event. Now on your next trip, dude, spring this event on your family and be like, look, this morning you didn't know, but today's the 400 meter, blah, blah, blah. And we're going to give you an event and you're going to be able to lay it down on your family. And especially if you have a teenage daughter, dude, throw it down. We're going to be ready. So where can you find the Olympics at Walt Disney World? That's what we're doing today. My friends joining me, we have Ricky, who is so eager to see Snoop Dizzle on the Olympic coverage this evening, I guess. I don't know if I know that LeBron James is carrying the flag. Maybe Snoop will be right there beside him. I haven't heard, but possibly. So she's from DisneyWorldAfterAll.com and TheMouseForLess.com. Ricky, the spirit of the world coming together for pure athletic endeavors happening right now. What's up, Ricky?
It is. So just to go back on what I was talking about before, fun fact, I actually have purchased Snoop Dogg's cereal before. So just throwing that out there. He makes a cereal. He makes many different kinds of cereal.
I wear Skechers. I mean, there you go. I mean, his shoes.
So, but no, this is actually Snoop Dogg cereal. Like it's.
What are they called? Like Snoopy-O's or something? I mean,
no, I have the cinnamon toast crunch ones downstairs, but they're called something else.
See, I would not put anything that Snoop Dogg puts out before I go live on the air. I'm just saying, like I give myself a few hours to just be before I would ever do anything like that. But that's just here nor there. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, I do have some downstairs. Not gonna lie. But anyway, yeah. So excited about the Olympics, and we'll see how it goes this year. I don't watch a lot of it, but I like to catch up on it. So yeah.
So what, are we gonna have like a Bob Costas Snoop Dogg booth tonight, like for NBC or something? I don't know.
Bob Costas does the. I don't think he's
Bryant Gumbel. I mean, who is it? I don't know who does it anymore. I don't.
It's Mike Tirico.
Yeah,
I love Tirico. Yeah.
But I think didn't you send me this, or Wade or someone, that Bob Costas is gonna like try to do it like remote, potentially. Like, he's gonna be in the States trying to like, and then we agreed, Mike. Like that's not a good way to do it.
No.
And that's our friend Scotty G, by the way, from Must See Adventures. Check that out on YouTube. We're getting into the beginning of his trip over in Europe. Speaking of Europe, because you wrapped it up in Paris. We'll get there probably in a few months with the vlog. But what's up, Scotty G?
I hope by the time this episode airs, happy Friday, by the way, everybody. We should be boarding our cruise. We should have episode 3 out by now. So see us as we board our ship. Give a stateroom tour, talk, just like kind of tour the ship a little bit. And yeah, it should be a fun episode. We talk about the storage in our stateroom, most importantly.
Hey, we're getting old, dude. We're worried about storage in our staterooms.
I know, right?
I was just like, oh my God, when you said that, we're talking about like Skechers shoes and storage in our staterooms. Man.
But remember, we were on this ship for 14 days.
That's true.
So storage was a very thing that we were concerned about going into it. So will we be pleased? Will we be disappointed? Will there be enough space? Well, tune in and find out.
Well, too, and I remember because again, you were posting live from your cruise, which I really appreciated because you're live, letting us see the whole thing. And like when you busted out like the full-on suit, I was like, dude, Scotty G packed a full-on suit and he's there for 14 days, like 19-day trip. I was like, Pam. He was worried about like he was going to have to throw his clothes away because he didn't know how he's going to take all this stuff, and like have room for everything to carry it all. I'm like, Scotty G busted out the full-on suit. I'm like, props. I'm like, I don't know how it's going to work out. I got to see what's happening here.
Now you know why I was worried about throwing away stuff. And did I throw away stuff too? We might talk about that on one of the episodes.
Oh man, that was the conversation we had at dinner that night when you posted that picture. I was like,
it.
Look, he's got on a suit. I was like, I'm not even taking on a suit. We're just going a week. I'm just taking a shirt. Anyway. So let me ask you this right off the bat, though. Summer Games. Ricky, what's your favorite event at the Summer Games?
I think it would have to be gymnastics. I do like swimming too. But when you have the goat of Simone Biles, she's pretty darn entertaining to watch. So I'm going to go with gymnastics. But this year we have breakdancing. So who knows? That may be my new favorite.
I know. I got to catch my flight real quick.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I mean, I'm a child of the 80s. I can pop and lock. I'm just saying.
You're just not going to get up off the floor, but it's fine.
Did you know that Scotty G and I are we're the double squad representing? Well, have you not seen our picture from over? I think it was at the Dolphin. That's our publicity shot. Exactly. I'll put that out. That'd be the cover photo for the show. Scotty G, what's your favorite event in the Summer Games?
I will say I have to go with the swimming. I think it's just so intense. Like I just love it. It always seems to come down to the wire, It's just like I'm on the edge of my seat when I watch swimming, like relays, individuals, like it's all really fun to me. But I'll say my favorite thing was like I love the dream team back in the day, man. When the NBA, when you could have professionals like play on the Olympics, like I just love that dream team was one of my favorite memories of the Summer Games for sure.
I'm a little worried about him this time because, we're recording, obviously a little bit ahead, and they almost dropped a game to South Sudan the other day. So
I know. I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. There's nothing like that dream team. That is the greatest basketball team of all time that was ever assembled.
Yeah.
And they had our Pistons coach Chuck Daly leading the way as the coach.
Yeah, that was not fair. I mean, that was just like, I mean, talk about a superpower. That was even worse.
It was
like,
Jordan Bird,
yeah,
Magic Johnson, like, and then like randomly Christian Laettner was on the team.
Exactly.
And that was like the one, because I think he was still in college. He just came out of college.
Yeah, he should not have been on the team.
And Christian Laettner, like,
exactly.
What the heck?
Like, why are you here? Anyway, so today we're going to talk about where we find Olympic spirit at Walt Disney World. And of course, like, you know, the legitimate place where you can find the Olympic spirit, we're going to kind of make up some events you might want to do for fun. But really, if you want to capture the Olympic spirit, is it Run Disney weekends. And the best one is to run the full marathon in January, because I mean, the whole Olympics, if you don't know the history of the Olympics, which I guarantee you probably do. I actually taught this to my elementary students every year, or every 4 years when the Olympics came around. I do a big unit on this. But it's the marathon, right? It's that race that started in, I guess, Greece. They ran to, was it in, I can't remember. It's been so long. But they ran to marathon, right? And so you ran the 26.2 miles, and that was, you know, it was a contest between young men that did it. And, you know, that was how it was. And so, you know, you could go to Run Disney, you could sign up. I mean, not now, you could do it for next time around and run 26.2 miles. And, you know, hey, for the rest of your life, you're a marathoner. And it's a cool thing to say that you did that. And it really is. I mean, crossing the finish line, whether it's 5, 10, half marathon, full marathon, whatever it is, it gives you that accomplishment, and you get a medal at Disney, which I always say is kind of like the coolest souvenir, because it's something you can't necessarily buy. You know, like I can go and buy ears. I can go and buy a t-shirt. I can go and buy, you know, like I love this little truck thing that I got on the cruise, the popcorn bucket from Toy Story. I love that thing. But every one of my medals that I've gotten at a Run Disney race has a story behind it. You know, like I had to earn it because I had to, you know, train for it. And then I had to get up early that morning and run the race. And I remember the weather conditions and something that happened on the course during the event. So you have to earn it. So that, you know, it's kind of the spirit of the games, and you get to compete. You're not really competing against people, but you're out there in the kind of fellowship of competition. So that's what I say. Find it in Run Disney weekend. Now let's get fun. All right. So Scotty G, you said you had some good ones. So where could you find a spirit of the Olympics at Walt Disney World?
Well, we're going to start off with the Toy Story shot put. So if you know anything about the shot put, you know, you got to like throw this like heavy thing, and like it takes a lot of arm muscle. Your arm feels extended and it hurts. Well, that's how you feel when you play Toy Story Mania, right? So we're going to have a contest where who can get the highest scores, but you got to be working it, right? You know, it's going to be competitive, and it's going to be a preliminary round. So like, everyone will have their families. They go up there. You pick 2 family members that you want to, you know, participate, and then you cut them out after the preliminaries, and then it's head-to-head battle. And so it's the Toy Story shot put. How do you guys think you're going to be? Would your family nominate you to be one of the members representing?
What do you think?
100%. Yes. I beat, minus my brother, maybe. I beat every family member I ever played against. So yes, 100%.
And I do give all on Toy Story Midway Mania. Like I mean, my left shoulder, and the thing is, like, I always try to decide whether to go righty or lefty on this, because I was a left-handed pitcher in high school, and I do some things left-handed, but I do some things right-handed. I'm pretty ambidextrous with a lot of things. So that's an advantage on this attraction, right? Because I mean, you get about 80% through the attraction, and that's where you're starting to feel it. You're like, should I quit? Because I'm in pain. But I'm at a theme park and I'm paying all this money to be here. Like, do I need to be in pain? But then you're like, the inner coach, like the inner John Wooden says, don't be a wuss. Like the pain is just, you know, it's temporary. Like seeing your name on that screen at the very end and yakking it up with everybody else around you and the other cars, that's forever. Like you get to take the picture and post it on Instagram, man. Suck it up. So then you just keep, and I mean, Tommy John surgery is pretty common nowadays. So just stick with it. I mean, I think you can recover in like 9 months. You'll be able to come back and ride the ride again. You know, your trips are pretty spread out. You'll be able to get the Tommy John and good to go. I mean, rotator cuffs are overrated, I think. I don't know.
I think so. But so you might be the family member that proceeds, right?
I usually don't win though. That's the thing I think people, and I know some of the tips and tricks, like, you know, the volcano, you got to hit the lava and then all the balloons pop out. And all.
What? Don't tell me the trick. I don't know anything about these tricks.
Dude, I know some of them, but for some reason, and I know here's another thing. Like I don't waste my shots on the warm-ups. I like when you're not getting points in the warm-ups, dude. I'm not wasting my elbow.
Not
on
using
that.
that
I'll do a
energy, right?
couple, but
No,
not.
I don't
yeah.
need that. I'm not sucker. I'm not wasting it on the warm-ups.
Emily is funny. I always play with Emily, it seems like. And on that last round, you're going do, 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 and the thing comes up, and the more you hit it, the higher the value is. She always goes to mine because like I'm faster, and then she'll switch over to mine and start using that one to like steal my points, kind of.
Ooh,
you know,
dude, that's
sneaky.
That's not in the spirit of good sportsmanship.
I know, but you know what? Sometimes they cheat in the Olympics.
That is true. That's how we do it in the SEC. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
But I didn't come up with the clever name. I just call it the Toy Story shot put. But yeah, I think all of us can appreciate that and can understand how you have to train for such an event.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, you should be right now. If you're going down, you're going to take this on, dude, start lifting. Yeah. Start lifting. All right, Ricky, what's your event? What are we thinking about?
Well, I mean, I feel like this is something that, you know, you really could do. I feel like mine is not as fun, but it's totally something I've seen them do in the parks. And also at the resorts too. And that's going to be the cornhole championship. You know, sometimes when the parks, when the traction is down, right now I think they have it happening at you know, outside of Test Track, and I think I saw it happening outside of Spaceship Earth Space Mountain a couple of weeks ago. But you know, like the cornhole championship, I'm surprised this really isn't an actual Olympic event because it's such a huge popular thing, especially down here in the South. But I mean, you know, throwing bags is just a huge a fun thing that you can do, and it takes some skill, and it takes you know, actually, like I played at work sometimes, and you know, sometimes I get lucky and I, you know, can get the bag in the hole, but most of the time I'm way wide. So I feel like this is a really good thing to add to the parks, or add to the Olympics even. And you know, it's part of my park Olympics for sure. I mean, it's just fun to do. And you know, if you're playing, you're having a good time. I feel like, you know, you may be terrible at it like I am, but I feel like you have a good time.
For the Disney World version, though, you must have a Dole Whip in your hand. Like, because I mean, like like, you know, this is a great tailgating game, right? Especially like an SEC country. I'm sure it is in Big Ten country as well, up where Scott is. Like, everybody has to have like a red Solo cup in the other hand. Like, that's kind of like the deal. So like in the Disney World version, be like, you got to have like I would say like a Dole Whip or like a Mickey bar. You know, there has to be some kind of a modification to it.
At all times. Like you
you
can't switch hands for your bags or anything like that. You have to commit which hand is holding the delicious treat at all times.
I give you that. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so now
I love this idea. What's funny?
Go ahead.
I was just on a European cruise where they actually didn't call it cornhole. It was called Bago, which made us laugh.
Bago?
It was called Bago.
Okay.
And I think like twice, because we did 2 sailings, I think twice on each sailing they had Bago tournaments like in their sportsplex area. And like, I mean, it was crazy signups, like families signing up, and they had the whole thing like figured out to a science. But when you said that, Ricky, I was like, oh my God, like I've seen them do this like on ships before too. Like, why not bring it to Walt Disney World?
Yeah, absolutely. Why not bring it to the Olympics? I think it would be a great Olympics.
I think you have an opportunity to like not call it cornhole because they switched it up to Bago. You can come up with some clever like Disney
exactly
name, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
So were people, had they seen the game, or was it a novelty on your cruise over in Europe? I'm just curious.
No, people knew it. I mean, we had mostly Americans on our ship too, but everyone thought it was funny that it was called Bago. So maybe that's what they called it in the UK. Like, I don't know, but they had to set up where like 5 families would go at a time, and they had different places you had to shoot from, right? So there was like a short shot, a medium, a long, an extra long, and then you would just tally up your points, and then the next group would go on, and then it was basically like whoever had the most points at the end. So it was kind of cool.
That's good. A game of skill. Actually, my event is going to be a game of skill. It's not a game of endurance. It's not a game of strength. It's a game of skill. And I've actually seen this game play out many times in many counter service restaurants. And in this one, our event venue is going to be the Backlot Express at Disney's Hollywood Studios. This first one's going to take place in your mind. Picture a dad. He's got a family, 3 or 4 kids. They're starving. It's like 2:15 p.m. on like a Wednesday. Dude, he blew way past lunch. These kids were hungry at like noon. But he had to go see the parade. Or there's no parade. But he had to go, you know, one more ride on Tower of Terror. Then, kept going. Like, let's go see Batu. I just want to check it out. Let's go take a picture in front of the Millennium Falcon. It's my childhood dream, Dad's childhood dream, not the kids. Kids are like, dude, I'm so hungry, Dad. I'm dying. They're famished. And finally gets the Backlot Express, right? Tells the kids, sit down. They sit down to get a table. He orders all the food by himself. He's up there, he's got all the chicken nuggets. He's got the burgers. He's got all the foods, right? They give you the Uncrustables. He's got oranges full on oranges that are spheres, like on the tray. He's got like 3 trays, dude. He's by himself. The kids are all like on the other, you know how far Backlot Express is. They decided to sit outside. Like they're almost on the Indiana Jones show. That's how far away they are. Dad's got 3 trays. 3rd tray, they decided to put 5 Cokes, fountain Cokes on that sucker. So now Dad is doing the Olympic challenge. It's like synchronized swimming, but he's got to figure out how to get these 3 trays through a summertime crowd, and all of a sudden a Brazilian tour group rolls through with the flag, dude.
Sorry, Mike.
Oh, yeah,
Dude, I've seen it. I've seen this. This guy should get a medal. You have got to be somebody that's got 7 years of waiting experience to get this food and drink to your family without the kids totally losing it on you. It's like a cartoon. So whatever it takes for him to get it back there, you know what, Dad, just leave the 1 tray, take 2, go back, or just, it's 2024, text the oldest kid. Help me out, bro. I need help because all the food's here. I'm going to spill the Cokes. The orange is going to roll off. It's going to end up down the way. Something bad's I'm going to lose the Uncrustable. It's going to be a mess. But that is an Olympic style event. It takes just so much like problem solving. It takes agility. It takes just determination to get it there. And the kids, that's just totally, forget that. That's just like all the variables that could go wrong 100%. So I don't even know what you call it. I just call it a big mess. But I've seen it unfold 100 times. That's my.
I love it. That you win. You win the Olympics.
That's good.
I kind of I can almost see this because I'm taking the twist on swimming. You have the individual, but I can almost see this as a relay as well, where you have all the Cokes. You have all the Cokes, and then you have to hand it off to the next person. And at the end, you have to pour the Cokes into a container, and whoever jar is filled the most is the winner.
Oh my gosh, that's like the elite level. That takes it. That's the team sport. You got the individual competitions, and like the next day you come back and like, okay, today is the team competition. It's the Joneses against the Smiths.
Yep.
Yes, I like it. Yeah,
Backlot
totally.
Express.
That's totally it. Yeah, we're at the Backlot Express, brought to you by FanDuel. Yeah, totally, 100%. This is awesome.
We got betting odds.
Yes, exactly. Will Dad make it? It's 2-1. That Coke is going to end up on the floor, and they will be cleaning this up, and there's going to be a piso mojito, this little tent right next to there. All right,
that is so good. Anyone watching the video, I was trying to hold back my laughter for like 2 minutes because I knew where you were going with it. It's so
my gosh, I've seen it so many times, man. When I see it coming, dude, I know like in my head because I've seen this so many times. I'm like, dude, we're gonna have more. I know, like I'm like, Mallory, stay here because this is gonna be a 2-tray order, and it's gonna be those big because everybody orders the large Cokes, and those things are like mini buckets. And then it gets the center of gravity's all messed up. Nope, you're staying here. Don't go try to sit down and rest and get on your phone. No. I need help. And Dad tries to do it by himself, tries to be a superhero. I give you credit for trying to be a superhero. Not going to work. Okay, go ahead, Scott. What's another event?
I don't know how I can top that one.
No, I don't think any of us can. That's just,
And it was kind of like restaurant related, but I'm just going to go with it because I had to order it the way I wrote them. But this one isn't going to be as exciting, but it's the Crystal Palace Ice Cream Dash. So I own the gold medal for this already, where I've created the largest ice cream soft serve dish at Crystal Palace and consumed all of it. And that's kind of what this is, except, you got to bring, so it's a little bit like food contest / endurance because you have to do some running as well. So you're going to be back up against the wall. And a horn's going to go off like a timer, and then boom, you got to dash up to the ice cream machine. You got to fill it, and there's going to be like a fill line, right? So you have to get it to the right length. You got to have the right amount of ounces. Then you got to run it back to your seat, and then you got to eat the whole thing. So you got to be able to eat a giant ice cream, but you got to be quick too, and you don't want to spill it either because then you're disqualified. You have to start over again. So you got to make sure while you're running it back to your seat that it stays balanced on that cup. But it's going to be tricky because it's going to be huge, right?
Well, plus too, I mean, not to interrupt you here, you got the brain freeze factor in there too, because if you eat it too fast, dude, because a lot of these events will have pain associated, so you got to overcome that problem.
Yeah, like, how do you overcome that? I have a little trick. I'm not going to share it because I want to win this competition. But brain freeze is a serious factor, Mike. I didn't even think about that.
I'm all about the pain, yeah.
But what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to roll in other ice cream machines too, because there's just like the one. And you're going to have 4 contestants go at one time, kind of like you would see at a swim meet, right? So everyone's going to be going at the same time, and you preliminaries, you advance to the next one, and so on. But I'm ready to sign up for this. I feel like I've been training for this event my whole life.
You have.
I'm a big guy that runs the marathons and eat ice cream, man. Like I can do the running. I can take down some ice cream. I can pour a nice ice cream in a bowl. So I'm ready for this event.
Dude,
the Crystal Palace Ice Cream Dash. Let's go.
Sign me up though too, because every Friday night and Saturday night we go to DQ. So I am trained for the ice cream. Peanut butter parfaits have been my life, and now the I forget the brownie buster or something that I get that's next to it on the menu. And I mean, like when you watch those hot dog eating contests, sometimes the skinny dudes can surprise you. I mean, I might be a sleeper. Real. I probably wouldn't win because brain freeze dude gets me. When I get brain freeze, I tell Pam,
don't get locked up.
I'm dead. Yeah.
Don't get locked up on your way back to your seat, because then you're trying to balance this tray of ice cream, and if you get like a Charlie horse or something, which I know you get,
man,
boom, you're down on the ground,
dead.
You got ice cream all over your clothes and all this, and then you got to start all over.
DQ'd. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you might as well not even try
DQ
at that point. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not talking
DQ'd, and then you can go to DQ.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not even talking Dairy Queen. I'm talking disqualification. That is a good event, and I would take getting DQ'd in that event. Okay, Ricky, go ahead. One more.
I am going to actually say that I kind of competed in this one just this last trip too, and it was actually so it's going to be the popcorn bucket challenge, okay? And it was completely by mistake that I competed in this one, but it worked out, and I think it's going to be a really good event. So. I have purchased the Stormtrooper helmet popcorn bucket, right? Brian is in love with this thing. It holds so much popcorn. I know that Disney doesn't have it right now, but if they ever bring it back, seriously, you want to pick up the Stormtrooper one because it holds so much popcorn. So anyway, I was getting that refilled, right? And then I saw that they had of course, the Pizza Planet popcorn truck, and I'm a sucker, and I was like, well, I'm gonna have to have that one too. So I ended up having 2 popcorn buckets that I'm carrying around the park, trying not to spill said popcorn as I'm moving around the park. And I was luckily on my way to the exit at that point, because I was headed back to. That's why I had the popcorn bucket to bring it back to Brian, because he'd been working all day. But I was like, okay, I got to get back to my car and not spill these 2 buckets of popcorn. So I'm just saying, the popcorn dash is a real thing. So you have to get 2 different kinds of popcorn buckets, because the one has kind of a lid, but it's not like a full lid. So if you tip that sucker upside down, popcorn's going everywhere. And the other one, it doesn't have a lid. It just has the cardboard container, and the popcorn, is sticking out of that. So that one's a little more challenging because it's the shape of a car, and you got to try to not spill the popcorn that's loose already and sticking up already, all over the floor too. So there was definitely some skill involved with this. I very much was trying hard not to spill the popcorn as I walked my way out to the car. So this was a huge, you gotta dodge, weave around people. Yes. You gotta, really be careful. And every popcorn that you spill on the floor of your kernel, that's, a point off. So, you really gotta, this, I'm telling you, this takes skill to get this one completed.
We've all been there because the popcorn's expensive and you don't want to lose.
Well, it is expensive. And I literally have 2 buckets that I'm carrying with me. So, but they've got to be 2 different kinds of, 2 different shapes buckets. They have to have, 2 different ways of carrying the popcorn. Because I feel like if you had 2 Stormtrooper ones and we're trying to carry the popcorn out,
no, you want asymmetrical.
That's too easy. You gotta have, it's got to be asymmetrical. It can't be symmetrical at all. So you got to have some asymmetry going there. Yeah. So
I like that. I like
I,
that.
I 100% completed this one. I have no idea how I didn't spill the popcorn walking out to my car. No idea.
Yes, we need to like, you got to start from like, say, like if you want to have a real competition, you start from the hub in the Magic Kingdom, the popcorn stand there.
That's right.
2 buckets, and you got to make it like out to like the under the monorail tracks.
Exactly. I feel like that's good. I feel like
no kernels on the ground.
I've been training for this, I think, my whole life because, as you all know, I'm very famous for purse snacks, which are, like keeping, like I put snacks in my purse, and the goal is, of course, to make them make it home. So I've been training for this my whole life. So having, the popcorn buckets are kind of like purses in a way. So I feel like this was a good competition for me. I'm just saying. So purse snacks translated to popcorn race.
I love these. And I'm going to make this the last one because what we're going to do is Sunday night, we're going to carry this over. Well, do you have another one, Scott? Do you?
I have.
Okay,
I
didn't know if we did. Okay,
go.
Okay, we'll do one more round. Okay, here's mine. This is going to be my last one because I'm going to save mine for Sunday night, my other one. But here's my last one. And I call this the Chariots of Fire. Oh no, is that our bus challenge?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So picture this, and we've all been there. Now the venues vary from place to place. This one happens at Disney's Pop Century Resort. Okay. So you're staying in the 50s, right? You're walking through you're walking through the main area, going through everything pop. Everybody's kind of checking out. You're waffing the waffles as you go through. Ooh, those smell good. You're getting ready to go, we're going to go to Animal Kingdom because it's the furthest down bus corral from the 50s. So you're walking through everything pop, checking out the shadow boxes, kind of strolling through. Everything's going. It's a great morning, dude. You're going to make rope drop. It's like 7:15. You're like, yeah. You're just like, yeah. Everything's happy. So you get out there, you turn that corner, you come through those doors, you're outside, you're hearing Disco Inferno or something playing on the radio. And your 6-year-old daughter there is like, there's a bus in that corral down there. Is that the Animal Kingdom corral that has the bus? And there's people getting on it. And so you're like, I'm the dad, so I got it from the dad perspective. Oh, I think that is our bus. And this also goes to the elite level at a theme park at closing. So this is amateur hour in the mornings at your resort. Okay. This is like rookie level. This is almost like, I don't know, like qualifications for the Olympics. It's elite level at the Magic Kingdom at 11:30. If you've been at that park all day since rope drop and you're with your family and everybody is just losing it at this point, that's taking it to the next. I'm just taking it to the easy level. So you see it and you're like, all of a sudden the music comes on in your head. And you're like running. You're not supposed to run at Walt Disney World unless you pay a lot of money to run Disney. Then you can run. But then you forget, like, you have a stroller, you have a popcorn bucket around your neck. You've already just lost that $15 popcorn Ricky was talking about, man.
It's gone.
You're Hansel and Gretel in it right now because you can see where you've been all the way back to that shadow box back in everything pop. You're there because you've just left $15 worth of popcorn behind you because you're trying to make this bus. And the whole thing is, here's the tip. You tell the fastest kid in your family, get up there and just tell that bus driver my parents are coming, and just hold the bus. And that's the dirtiest trick in the book, but have we all tried to do it a time or two? Absolutely we have. Should you be
kids?
Yeah, that's exactly it. But should you be qualified? Should you get like that you've used a banned substance from the Olympics for doing that dirty trick? Absolutely. You should get like how the Russian team always gets banned for doping. You should get, if you do that trick, and I do it too, you should be banned from Disney for that. But I mean, we get desperate. That Chariots of Fire music comes on. That bus, like you hear the bus driver, he's like, rum, 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 rum. He's like rubbing it like he's getting ready to peel out of here. And I'm going to have to wait 37 minutes for the next bus. And I'm going to not get on that first safari. And that lion's going to roar and I'm not going to be there. Like, all these thoughts are going through your head in like 7 microseconds. It's wild. So I'm just saying that is one of the events. It's the Chariots of Fire. Oh my gosh, is that my bus getting ready to pull out of the corral challenge? And it has happened. And it will happen on your next trip. And just know it's an Olympic event at Walt Disney World. All right, Scotty G, you got one more. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I know you wanted to end it. I was like, I kind of had I think it's a funny one. We'll see if it's funny or not. I'll see your guys' reaction. So this event takes place just about every day, multiple times at different locations, believe it or not. But we're going to up it up a level. So this is a kids event. that happens. Oh, by the way, this is a swimming/diving event.
Oh, I like that. Yes, because that's good. Yeah, good.
Oh.
Great summer event. Good.
Yeah, it's a great summer event. So this happens every day at a Disney pool, at the main pool. But we're going to call this event the the Crescent Lake Critters Dive. Okay, so if you ever been at poolside, when they roll out the cart, you'll see they'll have like a little group of kids, kind of like near like a shallow end, where the hosts will throw all these little critters into the pool, and then the kids go crazy. They gotta find all the critters, and whoever finds the most or finds the special one, gets this prize or whatever. And it's fun. It's fun to watch them having a good time. Sometimes the parents are helping, but I've always thought like they need an adult version.
Oh my
God! So that's what's going to happen. So I know like young kids can be in the Olympics. You see like 14-year-old gymnasts and things like that. But this is an 18 and over event. And the reason it's called the Crescent Lake Critters Dive because it has to be at Stormalong Bay because it is a giant pool and it goes deep and it goes shallow. You got all these different like levels.
And there's a current to it too.
And there's a current too. Yeah. So everyone's going to be lined up. Whoever is doing it, like maybe like 10 contestants at one time, maybe 15 because it's such a big pool. But the Olympic Committee, they're going to do the critter drop. It's going to be all over the pool. And boom, you go, and you're going to have all these adults diving, splashing, going deep, going shallow, going in the current, doing whatever they got to do. Maybe they go on the flying jib. Maybe there's a couple critters made their way over into the slide. But it's going to be the critter dive, and you got to find the most critters in that period of time.
But wait a second. I got like
Aerosmith. Wait a second.
Because I got an idea. What if instead of critters for this adult version, we're not throwing in critters. We're throwing in things like Disney gift cards.
Oh,
we're throwing in like drink coupons to like Cruise Cup,
and you get to keep what you find.
Yes.
Absolutely, it's like you get a
that's
drink.
That's gonna be all out war.
You get like a dinner to Yachtsman, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, because you got to take the. I mean, because let's be real. The Olympics are no longer about amateurism. It's about professionalism, dude. Pay them. Yeah. Pay
the
me.
ultimate though is you get to stay at Cinderella Castle.
Oh, dude.
Yes, I just upped it.
It'd be like Jaws. It'd be blood in the water.
You don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is.
Yeah,
blind.
Blind.
You just grab whatever the object is, and then it's like in a waterproof envelope or whatever.
Yes,
I don't know how it is, but. Or maybe it has a number, and then at the end, like you go to the prize counter and you find out, number 16 is the Space Cinderella's Castle. That's awesome.
Exactly. That's
sorry, kiddos, we're gonna make this an adult-only game. Like adults just going crazy for these things. I think it'd just be a hoot, man. I think it'd just be hilarious.
Why did this just turn into like a Big Brother head of household competition?
No, it totally did. Oh
my god,
it totally just became a head of household competition. Like a power veto is up for grabs tonight. It's totally okay. Ricky, you got one more? Or are you gonna pass?
I do. Okay, go ahead. All right, this kind of goes with yours. It's the end of the night dash is what I'm doing, but it's not for a bus. All right, you got 10 minutes. The park is closing in 10 minutes. You're in Tomorrowland, and you want to go all the way to Frontierland so you can get on Big Thunder Mountain before the park closes. All right, so you are not running because you can't run in the park, but you are speed walking as fast as you can to get all the way from Tomorrowland. And I'm talking about the furthest point in Tomorrowland.
Yep.
And you can't go around the other way. Well, I guess you could. I guess you got two choices. You could really go either way and see who wins first. Because they're both probably about the same distance. But I'm in my version of this game. You have to go all the way through Frontierland, all the way across the bridge in Liberty Square, all the way all the way through. You got to go Fantasyland, Liberty Square, and then Frontierland. That's the way you got to go with this. And it's a lot. It takes you a long time to get there. I'm telling you, I've done this run before. But yeah, it's not easy, and there's strategy in it because you got to decide, okay, how am I going to get there? Am I going to take the path by the water where I'm walking on the bridge, or am I going to go on the actual concrete path? What's the way I'm going with this? Because there's got to be some sort of strategy in this. So I've done this many times, and I think it's a great. But you've only got 10 minutes to complete this, so you got to get moving, and they will cut off the line. So
Mike, you know who's listening to this, and a good friend of ours is like, "Oh yeah, I got this one."
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It doesn't say this. You know who to go to as your coach, dude. I'm telling you right now because I was talking to him
Yeah.
today via email. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Buffalo's
Dave
best.
Lawrence, right?
Absolutely,
Yes, of
Buffalo's
course.
finest.
This event was made for Dave
100%.
Lawrence.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say. I'm like, I know who I'm going to for my coach, Dave Lawrence, dude. He's a professional at this, dude. He would
Yes.
kill people at this. But I would ask
Yes.
him like, what would be the optimal way though? The boardwalk? Because you're talking about that wooden, like kind of
Yeah.
boardwalk, or to stay on the blacktop. I don't know.
that's right.
I
There
would
is
go the
strategy
boardwalk.
in
I
this.
think I
There's
would take the
some strategy,
boardwalk,
too.
but it's a little zigzaggy. But I'd probably take
Yeah,
the
it is
To
a
boardwalk.
little
to make it more interesting, you should have to like have a full bladder, and it's like, do I go to the restroom? Or
Oh
Facts.
yeah, because you got to have a little pain. Every one of these events has some pain.
Dude,
there hasn't been
associated.
any pain yet in this
Yeah.
event.
That's why I almost fainted in the line for Tiana's, because I did stop. I was speed walking because I was trying to this happened to me. I was literally speed walking from the monorail all the way to get to Tiana's because I had a 10-minute window, and I had to stop and use the bathroom. And so I did make the choice. I did stop and use the bathroom. Luckily, they still let me into Tiana's. But I mean, I'm just saying, this exact same scenario happened to me, and that's why I almost passed out in the line of Tiana's, because I think I overexerted myself.
And not to like overshadow that, like that was a serious thing, and like
Yes,
you
it
gave that
was.
great PSA, but like just to make this more fun. I know it's your idea. This is why you bring it to the committee,
That's right.
Ricky. But I can just picture we need like Big L. We need country bears out there, like walking in the pathways.
Yes.
Too, like
yes, getting
just,
in the way.
You need all these hurdles. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Wanting to stop and get a picture with you, and you're like, do I stop and get a picture? It's got to be really rare characters too, like not
Like
not
liver lips
super-
pops back. Like you're not even supposed to be out here anymore. You're extinct. What are you doing?
Exactly. Got to be super rare characters, ones you're never gonna see, and you're gonna be like, do I stop and get maybe selfie
Oh, no.
real quick as I'm running through? Yeah.
What about that? Do they still do that hoedown in front of your land? Like,
Yes,
about
they
doing
do.
like the electric slide, and you're trying to like,
They do.
what?
We need some ice cream on the ground too, like a kid dropped an ice cream. You need some like
Popcorn
things that you
everywhere.
can potentially slip
Oh.
on
That's
too.
true. Yeah, that's
gotta
true.
have a chance to blow out an ACL. 100%.
Yeah.
You got to do
I
it in
think we really
cowboy
come up with
boots.
something here.
Yeah, got to do it in cowboy boots, and instead of the Chariots of Fire theme, it's the Orange Blossom special. It's like they play at Riverside, whatever that is. I just know because it's on a background loop. I don't even know. It's all that banjo music. So anyway, that was fun. I like this. Well, hey, Sunday night, if anybody has events in the clubhouse, we got to keep this going because I love this stuff. I mean, totally. I think that's what you do though with your family though. When you're at Walt Disney World and everybody's kind of like, it's hot, it's tired. Make up an event. You know what?
That's right.
Challenge your kids. Kids will think you lost it, but I mean,
They will.
they already do.
It's
So
fun.
who cares? All right. So give us your thoughts. Come over to the clubhouse, beourguestpodcast.com/clubhouse. Let us know what you thought of today's show. I know we're off the rails, but
We definitely went off the rails.
I mean, that's what we do. So give us your idea for an Olympic event and give us a call Sunday night. That'll be 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central, in all the places. Don't forget the show's brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. We'd love to help you get to your favorite Disney destination for no cost to you and concierge level service. Check it out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That really does help us out. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you so very much to our Patreon supporters. For just $5 a month, you really do support the show. And just thank you to everybody who does that. You'll get a bonus show every week when you do that. It's called Mike in the Midwest. So please come on over this week. Patreon.com/BeOurGuestPodcast. Give us a follow on the social media at Be Our Guest Mike for myself. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs, RIKKINIBS. Scott's at Epscott, EPSCOT. So check us all out. And of course, again, the Clubhouse, beourguestpodcast.com/Clubhouse. Check us out over there. All right, so we're going to get out of here and let's get on with the weekend. We'll see you on Sunday night for the live call-in show. You guys take over. Let's have some fun with that and enjoy the opening ceremonies tonight over in Paris. So until we talk to you again, you guys have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon.
You've been listening to the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. If you have questions, comments, or would like to be a guest on the show, please visit our website at beourguestpodcast.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you real soon.